Good day everyone! Welcome to Research 2 and I am your teacher, Regala-Derije. So how are you today? I hope you're doing good and safe. Are you ready now for our lesson? Alright, let's move on. Our lesson for today is about Conceptual Framework of Research. Okay, for this week, there are 3 targets that we have to achieve. First, discuss the conceptual framework of the group's research title. Second, point out the importance of conceptual framework in research. And of course, you're going to construct a conceptual framework. Let's keep the ball rolling. What is a conceptual framework? It represents the researcher's synthesis of the literature. So you have there the word synthesis. So it is synonymous to summary. So pag sinabing conceptual framework, dapat makikita doon ang summary or synthesis of the literature that you have searched for. Diba? Yung related literature and studies. It maps out the actions required in the course of the study. So I'm sure you are familiar with a map, and a map shows directions. So pag nakita ang inyong conceptual framework, nabibigyan ang reader ng directions kung saan patungo or saan tungkol ang inyong research. It also identifies the variables required in the research investigation. So when we say variables, these are objects that will make changes or that will cause the changes in your research. Now, how to make the conceptual framework? Here are the steps. First, choose your topic. Decide on what will be your research topic. The topic should be within your field of specialization. And you are done with this already, di ba? When you formulated your research problem and finalized that in your research title. So, meron na kayong topic na gagamitin. Next, do a literature review. Review relevant and updated research on the theme that you decide to work on after scrutiny of the issue at hand. Ito yung katatapos nyo lang na activity, di ba? So, you were able to research or to search for relevant or related literature and studies. So, ngayon, i-review nyo yung inyong na-research na literature. Third, isolate the important variables. Identify the specific variables described in the literature and figure out how these are related. So, you will now, from your related literature or studies that you have searched for, kukunin nyo na ngayon doon. Ihiwalay nyo na. So, when you say isolate, ihiwalay nyo na or identify the specific variables na gagamitin sa inyong research. Now, when we say variables, we have here the types of variables. We have 3 types. Independent variable, dependent variable, and a controlled variable. When we say independent variable, this is the one thing you change. Ito yung binabago sa isang experiment. Limit to only one in an experiment. So, for example, tingnan natin itong study na ito sa diagram. So, the study, if you will notice, ay parang effect of different types of liquid on the growth of a plant. Ayan. So, the example, the independent variable is the liquid. So, pwede siguro itong A na to, soft drinks. Ayan. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabing independent variable, sila yung iti-test ninyo kung ano yung magiging epekto nila doon sa subject na ginagamit. Okay, so that is the independent variable. Next, we have the dependent variable. This is the change that happens because of the independent variable. So, ito naman yung mangyayaring pagbabago. So, the example here, we have the dependent variable is the height or health of the plant. Kasi yun ang magbabago na caused by the independent variable. So, ito namang plant B ay juice naman ang independent variable na ginamit. At titingnan kung anong epekto niya sa height or health of the plant. That is dependent variable. And the third one is controlled. This is everything you want to remain constant and unchanging. So here in our example, the type of plant used, pot size, amount of liquid, soil type, and others are controlled, meaning sila yung hindi magbabago sa tatlong setup. So nakita naman natin, di ba? Ano-ano yung parehas nila? Parehas sila sa tatlo sa pot size rather. Sa type of plant, pare-parehas. Amount of liquid, iba-iba nga lang yung liquid, pero pare-parehas yung amount and the soil type. So that is independent, dependent, and controlled variable. Number 4, after identifying or isolating the variables, we are now going to construct the conceptual framework. So build your conceptual framework using your mix of the variables from the scientific articles that you have read. So gagawa na kayo ngayon ng inyong conceptual framework para makita na yung synthesis or summary of your research. So here are samples of conceptual framework. So marami naman yan sa internet. If you will just try to research for that, maraming samples of conceptual framework just like this one. So merong control group, experimental group, ayang input, process, output. Kapag sinabing input, ano yung mga variables, process, what is the procedure, and output, what is the expected outcome or results of your research. And then again, so if you will notice, ang mga conceptual framework are just made up of boxes, circles, arrows, so ganun lang. Para kasi sinabing framework, hindi naman yung talagang kabuuan na lahat ng words ay nandoon. So, framework, parang skeletal system natin, ano? So, sila yung gagawa or bubuo ng isang suporta sa kabuuan. Okay, na makikita na doon kung anong shape, di ba parang gano'n na makita mo pag meron kang square, makita mo yung apat na sides, may apat kang kahoy, for example, apat na lines, kahit walang color yon, alam mo na square yon kasi may framework. Okay, so yan pa isang sample of conceptual framework. Now, to make your construction of conceptual framework easier, I have here some templates. So, pag sinabing templates ay nasa MS Word na yon, babaguhin nyo na, lalagyan nyo na lang. So, you will just insert your data. So, the templates are also uploaded in our Google Classroom. So, you will just choose your model or template. So, first, we have the independent dependent variable model. So, yan na yan. Sa MS Word, makikita nyo yan na yan. You may change the color. You may change the shape. Basta ito yung itsura na yan. So here at the left box, you insert your research independent variable and then sa kabila ay dependent variable. So alam nyo na yan, discuss na natin kanina. So again, you may change the color, you may change the shape. Next, we have the input process output or the IPO model. So ayan na, you will just insert. Dito sa input, ay nakalagay na rin kung anong insert nyo, variables that you can manipulate, yung binabago. And then process, so yung procedure, and the output of your research or the outcome and result. So you may also add color to the boxes sa arrow din. So basta yan ang kabuuan niyang itsura. Next, the concept map model. Kasi yan naman, maraming mga circles. Yan, pwede namang i-delete. So nandun sa template, pwedeng i-delete yan. Tanggalin yung mga circles. So kung ano lang yung gagamitin nyo na circle. You may also add color. You may change the shape. So, yan, be creative lang. Basta yung kabuuan ay nandiyan. At ang pinaka-importante sa conceptual framework ay makita yung kabuuan ng inyong research by the variables. Kasi yung variables ang mag-identify or mag-represent ng synthesis ng inyong research. So, makita nandoon ang input and output. Independent and dependent variables. Yun ang sinasabi sa conceptual framework. Makita lang, without reading yet the whole research, alam na kung ano yung kabuuan ng inyong research. Alright? And so that's all for our lesson for today. And for our parting words, I just would like to share this quotation by Charles Kettering. High achievement always takes place in the framework of high expectation. So that's all, and thank you. Stay safe and God bless everyone. If you have any clarification or question regarding our lesson for today, or for this week, just send me a message, or you may send a message in our Messenger group or Google Classroom. Alright? So, to God be the glory. Bye-bye.